Okay, let's just take a couple of looks here at the Nuvo Pro marker. You're going to notice that it has a really nice taper design, and I have to tell you, I found this really comfortable to hold in my hand either way. And on the one side, the smaller side, you are going to get your bullet tip, which is kind of nice because the small cap means it's the bullet tip for writing, whereas the larger, chunkier cap is where your chisel tip is located. So it's really, very visually easy to see. Now also on the end, on the chunky side, the chisel tip side, is where you're gonna find a color swatch and a number so that you can organize and store. I found that when I had all of my markers in the storage, it was really easy to see exactly the color that I needed and the number. To test out the markers, I am using a kind of paper called One Sheet Wonder, and it's a heavier cardstock. It has a nice thickness to it. It's very, very smooth, and the reason why I like One Sheet Wonder is because of that smoothness. It really takes coloring well, whether it's pencil or marker. So if you're ever interested in a really good paper, I'll write it for you. Now, notice I was playing a little bit yesterday. This is a metallic. I think it's thicker than Bristol. I'm not that familiar with Bristol, but I just want to point out it also does not do a whole lot of bleed through if you're just doing a single layer. But this is the stuff that I love to use. Okay.
And this is the part where I like to speed things up and kind of talk over the demonstration so that we can cover more ground in less time, which everybody likes. So here I'm demonstrating the chisel nibs, and what you can see is that if you give it a couple of passes, you can get a much deeper saturation of color. And the chisel is broad, but you can get some thin lines with it. This is the billet tip, which really is more of like a fine bullet. You can't really get teardrops or that kind of painterly look with it, but you can get some nice little little bold lines. Now, each set of Creative Pens is sold in a pack of 3, and originally I thought they were like all meant to be blended together like a light, medium, and dark, but I'm wrong. What I found is that some are cooler and some are warmer, so each is going to give you a light, a mid-tone, and a darker tone, but they're going to be a mixture of cools and warms. Now in this blending set you get the grays, but you also get a blender pen, and we like this because the blender pen, unlike every other one, is kind of opposite. So while they're all white with the gray, this is the gray with the white. And as you can see here, I'm actually using the blender to kind of push the color away and get a lighter version. So you can use the blender pen to kind of create that like faux resist look. But it does take some time to get them to move, and maybe the paper choice would impact that as well. But I was able to get some blending to occur pretty easily. There's a lot of saturated color, and as I'm writing on this paper, you get 10 for about or 3 for $10, which is really one of the most inexpensive price points you can find.
So let's see. So just to wrap up, I like them probably better than any other marker I have in my stash for how they feel in my hand. By the way, I'm also one of those people that I'm a notorious gripper. I grip it like my life depends on it. So if you were a notorious gripper and you grip your pens too hard, these are really comfortable in your hand. I love the design where I can see the billet point and the chisel tip very, very easily. I like the fact that it has the colors on the edge. Death grip, people! Oh my god, like I seriously need a chill pill. So these are really comfortable in my hand. They are not refillable. You get 3 pens for $10, so that's a really nice price point. That's full price. I don't know what other deals you can get. I'm not sure where they're selling them yet. And they come more in color stories than light, medium, and dark. So here's my little swatch. I think I got them all. So you can see you've got blues that actually the blues would blend nicely together. When it comes to the purples, that's not really a dark and a medium and a light tone. They're different tones and shades in that family. By the way, I think that's a really good color chart, if I do say so myself. You really can see when you put down, 2 layers versus 1 layer, So that's another way of getting obviously your dark and your light tones by, how many times you pass over it. And you do have some muted tones, some like grayer tones, some brighter tones, and then you have 3 metallics. And you can see here at the bottom, you have a copper, a silver, and a gold. The gold tends towards the mustardy greeny side with a shimmer. The copper is really just that brown with the shimmer in it. And then the silver is a gray metallic. But you get a lot of nice colors that, in the line that you can play with.
I just want to kind of wrap up by showing you a little piece that I colored. This is one of those Diane Reevely sheets. It's watercolor paper, so it bled a little bit, but I'm very pleased with the vibrancy of the colors and the ease of use. I also am going to brag, these little characters were made by my daughter, who really, really loves to use them for anime. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review and demo of the Nuvo Creative Markers. And please, as always, subscribe and have a crafty day.